Posting request. I'm live streaming for homework, but I might as well play a game I'm interested in. I was gonna do a different game. I was gonna do Dishonored because I was doing that for another homework, but I really wanted to play Monster Hunter. Wait, what's my next quest? So the assignment here is talking about creativity and what is creativity. So I'll be giving a presentation while playing. Kind of laid back, kind of easy going. And I'll upload it to YouTube with my work cited, so I'm not just jabba-jaw, but I actually have information to give you. I'm gonna be hunting! Urgh! So I guess we can start off with what is creativity. It's, you know, it's defined as the use of the imagination or original ideas, especially in the production of an artwork.
Our #1 priority is to secure the base by taking out that encroaching
But it's not
antenna.
limited to that. It's
Use
not
everything at your disposal.
just artwork.
That's the way it works here in the New World.
You know, it could be really anything that you have to put some thought into. If I'm writing an essay, I have to put work into it that I have to think about, and that's kind of creativity because I'm processing ideas and writing them down. But so we really can call a lot of things creative. It's just that typically we think of art, and we have a very limited idea of what is art. You know, when I said I wanted to make video games, people would say that's not art. It's not, you said, you know, they say it's not art, it's not something that you can really put into. And I'd say, what do you mean? Maybe I shouldn't play this game, I get too into it. Well, so yeah, so they say, you know, it's hard to define creativity because so many people think of art when it's really not just art, it's a lot of things. And I remember hearing people say that art, you know, is this. It's not that, it's not that, it is this. And it's really not, it's kind of closed-minded, you know? You gotta open up, you gotta look at the possibilities. Oh man, oh man. Ain't no way I'm doing that. Is it real or is it just... Well, if your goal was to make a man, you made a man. Congratulations. Man. Let's talk about how we got creativity into our cities. Because it's not really there still. It's starting to. It's, you know, it's a little bud, it's a little flower soon. But it hasn't bloomed yet. It's still coming. When we first had schools, back in the good old Colonial times, it wasn't much. You know, the primary focus was reading. Primary focus was reading and religion, and sometimes math. And you know, then there was like the specific tasks, like women had to learn sewing and cooking, and men might have to learn a tool or a trade. But that was it. It was very much not individualized. You had to do X, Y, and Z well. There wasn't really room to be a person. There was only room to be a worker. And I'm sure there were some teachers out there that were all, let's do things a little differently, because, you know, when you're a teacher you have that passion. Well, some do. Some teachers have that passion to be a good teacher. And part of that is encouraging your students. Oh my goodness. No, no, please. Ooh, what's this? But so today it's been a struggle to get creative, not even teaching, it's more like encouragement into classrooms, because it's still something that's stigmatized around art. Art, as we all know, is something that's consistently cut, because it's not really a necessary thing to the general public's eye. They think it's just making, you know, noodles on a string. But it's not, and it really is something that should be in the classroom. Of course, speaking as an art major, I know about this, but it is good to have this in the classroom. Creativity in the classroom really does help students. It encourages them to be more active, and have an active role in their education. With any subject, you can get them more engaged into what they're doing. I remember when I had to do a biology project, and I made a dragon. You know, we were learning genes, genetics, and how they look. And we each drew our own little dragon that we got from our own little egg. It was really fun. And I was in high school. And I really liked that segment. And now I really like genetics. So creativity isn't something that we necessarily teach, it's something that we implement into the classroom. And we do that by giving students the freedom. We enable them in a good way. We enable them in a good way that gives them the chance to be creative. So we give students the tools and the chances and the space to be creative. We make sure that they have a space where they feel comfortable to just do what they want to do. Part of getting a good homework assignment is letting the students pick, say, the subject they want to write on, the book they want to read, the drawing they want to make. As long as they fit certain parameters, they're allowed to be creative. You know, part of being creative is having an active, not even active, doesn't have to be active, but having an imagination. And encouraging you students to use that imagination. Because we all have imagination, we all come up with ideas. You could be, you know, a lot of people say, oh, I was sitting in the shower when I thought of such and such, and they, you know, it's an idea they had. That's their imagination at work. And creativity is just putting that imagination through the creative process. It's a bit of a process. You start out with, you have the idea, you research it, you look into what would it take to make this, to write this, to put it from mind to reality. And then you work on that, and you go into the actual putting some of the stuff together. You start collecting the materials, maybe you need a certain workspace. Say you're a photographer and you want to photograph such and such village at such and such time because say it's a ghost town and it's only allowed to be visited at this time. You research, but and then you look at your options. Is this better than that? Do it like this. What would be cost effective? What would be the better execution? And you work through all of this until you finally do it. And then when you're doing it, you're still working through it to get the best. You're developing those photos, you're molding that clay, you're applying the layers of paint, you're doing all this stuff to get to that final product that you want. So being creative isn't just something you do, it's developing these skills, it's learning to do this stuff. I'm sure that creating monsters in Monster Hunter is not easy. It's pretty cool seeing this monster for the first time. It's like just an ordinary T-Rex, and then boom, it's got a crest. Boom, it's got these sails. Boom, it's crazy. It's cool. It breathes fire. And then you gotta model it and make it and give it habits and fighting. There's a lot to it. Is that what's left in my presentation? We talked about the stages, why is it important, what's the difference between it and imagination. Talk about how we can put it in the classroom. Wait, where'd it go? I think that's it for the presentation.
Focus our attention towards capturing Zora Magdaros.
So how can we teach creativity? What is creativity? Classrooms. Classrooms have just changed. They go up and down with how they teach art and what they teach art, and it's always kind of society based. What has society needed from students, and does art have a role in that? If not, then they're not gonna really focus on it. They want to have a workforce. Students are the workforce that you're training. So, creativity is the product of imagination being taken and applied to a real-world scenario. And that can be just daily problem solving. It could be writing an essay. It can be doing your homework. We apply it a lot of times to art, but it's not just art. There's a lot of things out there that people don't even think about, like designing a chair, putting together a TV. There's a lot to it that... What are they doing? That makes use of creativity.
Gather round, people. We have much to discuss.
I
All
think
our
this player
preparations are
plays
complete. Further,
Well,
that
so
we'll have
that's
a
my
better chance of restraining
presentation.
it at the